Hey, what's up everyone? This is Georgie back again with another Dev Community Challenge submission. And this time it's the Notion MCP challenge, which I've been working on for a while now. Okay, I can be a little bit sloppy here because I didn't really sleep last night. I wanted to use all the available time for me to make it as perfect as possible. Did I make it perfect? Absolutely not. But I'm okay with that because it's better to be done than made perfect. I've been a Notion user since 2020. I was looking for a tool that would help me organize my notes, my life, my everything pretty much. And boy, did Notion deliver. So I decided to participate in this challenge to give something back to this amazing team. So essentially this is a toolbox of 7 different tools which you can use them to manage your workspace by pointing out issues and problems in your Notion workspace and address them. But everything is way easier to understand in practice, so let's dive straight into it. Let's take it on a ride. Alright, here's our NoteRunway app, which is going to be the star of today's demo, but before we jump into it, let's take a closer look at our Notion workspace, because that's also a pretty important component, because we're going to test this application on that workspace. So this is our workspace, which is obviously not real. It's completely made up. All the data that you see here was randomly generated by AI. The reason is I wanted something that realistically shows a messy, disorganized setup. Exactly the kind of situation NoteRunway is built to handle. So this way we can test all the features thoroughly and see how our tools can actually help clean up, organize, and manage a workspace that's gone a little off the rails, to say the least. Alright, back to the NoteRunway application. And the first thing you see here on this page is this interface. And honestly, I think it's my favorite interface of all time for two main reasons. One being the neon blue color, which is my favorite color, and it just pops and looks amazing. And the second is the minimalistic design, which I'm a huge fan of. And it just feels clean and so effortless and so smooth and everything positive basically. And here you can explore a bunch of different things, like for instance, you can see all the features that are supported by this system. You can also check out the simulation of the semantic ask feature basically, and browse through different info links right here on the top, so that you can check out the information about me, about the project. Also check out different kinds of information like what's planned for the future. Also join the community if you want and contribute to it. You can do any of those things because this application is going to be open source, and it means that anybody can contribute to it, and let's make this application as good as possible. Okay, I guess it's time to connect Notion, the Notion workspace basically. So before we do that, let's talk about the AI providers. So this application is basically based on bring your own key philosophy, which means that you should bring your own AI provider keys so that it's more distributed and easier to manage. And you can actually see the models and their versions here, which versions are supported. And you can provide the keys for all of those providers. Doesn't matter which one you choose. You can also provide all of them basically. When I had to test it, I had to provide all of the keys and test it on all of those providers. So you don't have to do it, just one key will do it. And also you need to connect your Notion workspace, obviously, right? So let's do that now. We are being redirected to the Notion page where we need to select pages, right? To allow the application to read your pages basically. This is what we need right here. Allow access. And there we go. The workspace is connected and we can do everything that's supported by this application now. First, let's go to the dashboard and we can straight away see the statistics here, like how many total pages we have, how many top level pages we have, and recently edited pages. You can also refresh it to make sure this is updated properly. And let's go back to the Notion workspace for a minute. As you can see, we have this NoteRunway archive, which contains 3 different things like duplicates, garbage collection, and semantic ask. So this is basically an archive page where your archived pages are stored, depending on which feature archives it, right? If it's archived by the duplicate detection feature, it will appear here, so you can restore it back. If it's archived by the garbage collection feature, it will be stored in here, and same for the semantic ask. Those features are the ones that can modify your data, like archive or change or something like that. So yeah, let's go back to it. And as you can see here, we've got also the deep scanning features, which is for detecting empty pages and also link density. Let's scan these 2 metrics. We can actually run them simultaneously, so no problem with that. It looks like we've got 10 empty pages, which can be garbage collected basically. Link density is 9%. So it's linked pretty loosely at this moment, but if you mention pages too much in another pages, this percentage will go up, right? And we have the big tools that actually use AI, like duplicate detection, garbage collector, dead link detector as well, sensitive data finder, dependency graph, and semantic ask. So we can actually see each of them. Let's start with the duplicate detection. So what it does is basically detects pages that are duplicates, right? And it doesn't really look just at titles or maybe exact matches. If semantically 2 pages are matching, they are considered as duplicates. So let's run the AI scan tool. This can take some time because AI is working on that, and yeah, it can be time consuming a little bit. And here we go. As you can see here, it detected 2 duplicates here. And keep in mind that different AI providers and their models can generate different results, which is totally normal because in general, semantic searching or anything like that that's related to AI is not really deterministic. If you see different results, it doesn't really mean that it's incorrect. It's just how AI processed this information. AI can suggest you which one to keep, and in this case, it says that we need to keep this one. All right, let's say we archive this page, this one here, and we keep this one, Keyway 2025 playing. And we're gonna keep this one as well, weekly sync, January 6, 2025. And now let's see what happens in our workspace. We need to check out duplicates. As you can see, we have 2 new pages, and those pages are the pages that we archived. If we look into that, you can actually see the content of this page and also some information about when it was archived and by what. So you have all the information you need. All right. Now let's get back to the NoteRunway application. You can run again if you want to, but yeah, let's check out another feature, which is garbage collector, which is really interesting because you can actually filter garbage pages based on how many days after they were stale, basically. Let's say we need to find all the pages that were stale after 30 days, right? And let's start scanning the workspace. It's gonna look for all the garbages, not only for stale. As you can see here, we got 0 orphaned pages. We've got 7 empty pages, 0 stale pages, and in total there were 49 pages scanned. And yeah, 6 archive were excluded. All right, so those pages are garbage because they don't contain any valuable information or any information at all. So we don't need them, and we can actually mark all of them basically like that and archive all of them, or maybe leave this one just in case, these 2, and archive the rest of them. All right, that's pretty much it. Let's check out the workspace basically, and you can see the archived pages and yeah, the content as well, but we don't really have any content. That's why they were considered as garbage in the first place, right? That's pretty much it. All right, moving on is dead link detector. So if there are mentions that not really point to anything, like for instance, if you have a page and you mention a page which is deleted or archived, that's considered as a dead link. And this feature takes care of those kinds of pages. Let's see if we have any of those. Yeah, looks like we don't really have any of those, so that's good. All right, the next up is sensitive data binder. This is a really complex feature and also one of the most important ones as well. It basically has 2 modes, which are regex only and regex plus AI. But there is a reason for having both. Actually, there are 2 main reasons. First is cost. AI operations are not free, as we all know. This feature scans the entire workspace, which can be a heavy task. If your workspace is huge, running AI could end up burning quite a few bucks, which might be not really ideal scenario. And the second is privacy. Sometimes you don't really want to send your secret keys, passwords, card numbers, or other sensitive data to an AI provider. In that case, you might decide to stick with just regex and you'll be fine, right? That said, AI mode is really powerful and it can detect far more than just what regex alone can catch, which will give you a much deeper and smarter scan of your workspace. All right, let's scan this workspace with just regex first and then scan it with AI as well. which might take some time. So I just skipped the whole loading part. It just detected so many sensitive data here. And the key part here is that it doesn't expose your data ever in the interface, so you're safe to use it. Nobody will understand the exact value of those secret keys or passwords or anything like that. Right, this is just regex, and let's try with AI scan as well. Alright, we're back, and it actually took a long time to generate all these results, but the results are really interesting because, as you can see here, we have 24 regex findings, and we've got even more AI findings. And keep in mind that those results don't overlap, so they are completely separate. So AI actually detected even more sensitive data written in your workspace than regex, which is great. And you can actually check out what was detected by AI and also what was detected by regex only. Really interesting, and it can help you out to get rid of all the sensitive data in your workspace, because AI searches it in a very thorough way, so I don't think it will leave out anything. Only maybe some kind of specific scenarios when it's not really obvious, or maybe not obvious at all, that something is a sensitive data. Okay, the next one is dependency graph, which is also pretty useful because you can actually see the structure of your workspace. And let's just dive into it. Just load the graph. It's pretty straightforward. And this feature gives you a map where you can actually see different mappings here. Also, you can zoom in, zoom out, or do things like that. And you actually can expand any node here, like so. And if you click on one node, for instance, you can actually check out some details, how many child pages it has. And also you can open in Notion, and you can actually collapse all the nodes here and expand all of them as well. And I mean, it's a pretty useful feature to understand how your structure actually looks like. And now it's time for semantic ask feature. Probably the most interesting feature in this application. You can ask pretty much anything related to your workspace in plain English. Of course, it has its limitations. It's just the first version of this application, but it's already super powerful, and yeah, you can use for anything basically. But quick warning, avoid using it in corporate settings or on highly critical data, especially for destructive actions, because as I mentioned before, AI tools can be really confusing sometimes. They are not deterministic, so they can generate different results on different prompts, and they might make assumptions you don't expect. So yeah, just be careful with it, okay? Let's try a few examples, few commands with semantic ask, and let's see how it works basically. You can see a few examples here which you can basically run or something like that, but let's just ask a question. Like, for instance, summarize the workspace and run it. And it's gonna summarize the whole workspace, basically. But that's not really a detailed information, right? So let's ask to include more details. Please include more details. Okay, now we have a little bit more details, but I want even more details. Even more details, please. Okay, that's something different. All right, so let's try to see the content of any page. For instance, show me the contents of the project Phoenix file. Okay, that's great. So this is the content of the project Phoenix. Now let's try to create two new pages under the project page. Basically, create two new pages under the projects page called, I don't know, especially in Michigan. This is a song from Red Hot Chili Peppers. And Danny, California, which is also a song from Red Hot Chili Peppers. Actually, I misspelled it, but that's okay. Confirm. See, any destructive operation wants your confirmation. Otherwise, it doesn't change anything at all. So we got two new pages, and let's see if it created actually. All right, projects, Danny, California, and especially in Michigan. Great, I like it. Now let's try something different, like for instance, rename the Danny, California page to Venice Queen. As you can tell, I'm a huge Red Hot Chili Peppers fan. Okay, it just renamed it. Let's see it. All right, let's go. You got Venice Queen instead of Danny, California. Nice. What else we can do? Let's archive the project Phoenix file now. And finally, archive the project Phoenix file. It requires your input because it doesn't change anything at all without your approval. Okay. Let's see what it did. We need semantic ask, and project Phoenix is in archive. Okay, all good. This is pretty awesome, and you can actually see the history of your conversation. In the future, I can add support for saving the conversation, but now it's not supported. Like for instance, if you go back and open it again, it won't save it. But yeah, that's okay for now. As you can see, this project has a lot of potential, and you can actually contribute to it. This is, as I mentioned, totally open source, and you can contribute to this project. You can check out the GitHub repository. You can join the Discord channel, YouTube. Also, you can check out the dev.to article. So yeah, possibilities are just endless with this project, and I hope it will all go well. And there you have it. This is all for today, but we are just scratching the surface because, as I mentioned, this application is open source, which means that we're going to be able to make a lot of contributions to this application together, and everyone is welcomed to make contribution. Create a pull request, send it, I'll review all of them, and I don't know, let's make it better, basically. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.